Put on your holiday sweaters, tell us your favorite podcast song, and grab yourself a fake wig. You're not going to want to miss this. Places, everyone. It's time for Last Looks.
Say that movie sucked, and it keeps up. They're always fucked. Can't explain why, but my eyes are tearing up, and I'm hearing stuff about a movie that fucked. Criterion's not on this movie's next stop, but let's talk.
Hello, all you roller skating ninjas and rat tail eaters. I'm your host, Paul Scheer, and welcome to How Did This Get Made, Last Looks, where you, the listener, get to voice your issues on New York Ninja, one of the best movies ever made. Plus, Jason Mantzoukas joins me in just a little bit as we judge more of your new How Did This Get Made theme song submissions. Plus, we will share an exclusive deleted scene from our New York Ninja show. Thank you, Red Bank, New Jersey. That was such a fun room. I love Red Bank. And as always, we are going to reveal next week's movie. But first things first, a giant shout out, a big shout out to Chris Cheney for that amazing opening theme song. Chris, I love it. If you want to send in a theme song, not a How Did This Get Made theme, but just a Last Looks theme, send them to howdidthisgetmade@earwolf.com. Keep them short. 15 to 20 seconds is best. Now, if you are listening to this on release day and you live in Minneapolis, we are in your city tonight and tomorrow night, Friday and Saturday at the Pantages Theater, and there might be some tickets left. We are very close to being sold out, so check hdtgm.com, and you can always grab tickets at the last second at the box office. That's a little trick I learned. If you need a gift for a How Did This Get Made fan in your life, let me tell you, we are doing it up great. How Did This Get Made? Ugly holiday sweaters are on sale now. We have 4 different designs: Geostorm, Team Sanity, Team Fred, and Jack Frost, a Snow Dad's Better Than No Dad design. I love these. They're all available at podswag.com/bonkers. Also, if you're an Unspooled listener, we have a brand new popcorn tin. You can get them both, have fun, and make sure you check out the exclusive How Did This Get Made wrapping paper for the How Did This Get Made fan in your life. All right, let's get into it. Last week, we talked at length about New York Ninja, a movie that Discord user Farmboy, I love Farmboy, he's been helping me out on tech back in the day. Farmboy says the tagline for New York Ninja should have been better late than never. Okay, I like it. I mean, I put some spin on it, but it's simple. And you know what? Sometimes simplicity is the key. You all know that when you hear a good second opinion song. Anyway, we had questions about New York Ninja. We might have even missed a few things. Here's your chance to fill us in, set us straight, fact check us, whatever you want to do. It is time for you to shine on something I like to call corrections and omissions. Hit the theme.
Corrections and omissions. Yeah.
Thank you, Alon Osborne, for that great theme song. Let's go to the Discord. The Discord is, as always, discord.gg/hdtgm. All right, Baba says, my theory with the birthday thing was that both he and his wife had the same birthday. Simple, sturdy. All right, I like that. Dr. Guts also weighs in on the birthday party debate, saying, I did want to correct Paul on one thing. All right, Dr. Guts, what do you got? When John is on the roof with the birthday decorations, he reads a postcard, not a birthday card. My guess is whatever was written on the postcard was something different than what he says in the movie. Oh, all right. I like that. Again, doesn't make full sense, but I like that we are getting to the bottom of this. Anybody else want to talk about the birthday party? Oh, well, here's somebody right here. Rocket Wesker writes, my interpretation of the ninja swords at the birthday party is this. John Liu used to be a ninja, but he turned his back on that life after he met his wife and just worked as an ordinary sound technician. probably promised his wife he would never go back to being an assassin again or something along that line. Then his wife got killed, so he took his old weapons to the rooftop and started crying and saying sorry because he was returning to the life of blood and shadow, the one he promised her that he would never go back to. Now that's drama. That works. I like that. Gem Jam writes, did anyone else notice that the ninja seems to lure Randy into the park to be kidnapped for no reason? He calls her and tells her to meet him. Then he hides in a tree while she is taken, but then he doesn't follow her or use her as bait to learn where they took her. She's just gone, and he leaves and does something else entirely. Gem Jam. Yes. Makes no sense. Now, I'd imagine that's due to the fact that the movie is re-edited and redubbed. Sean McBee writes, I watched Re-Enter the New York Ninja, the YouTube documentary about the making of this film. By the way, I also did it after the show, but Sean, tell us what you got. Sean says the only original cast member in the documentary is Adrienne Meltzer, the actress who played Randy, and she puts an end to the wig debate once and for all. Here you go.
The biggest issue for me was the platinum blonde wig. So, of course, I auditioned without a wig. My agent didn't say anything about the wig. And all of a sudden, the first day on the shoot, John presents the wig. And I'm like, what? And he said, no, for the European market, you've got light eyes. They're very big on platinum blondes. And so you're going to wear the wig. I thought, oh, okay. And then the wig became my life.
Isn't that great? And June is wrong. Any chance I get a chance to tell June she's wrong when she's not here, I'll do it. No, I sent that clip around to everybody after the show. Sean McBee continues with some other great nuggets. The balcony monster was correct about John Liu's whereabouts. In making this film, Vinegar Syndrome was able to track him down through another cast member. He lives in Vietnam in a shack on the water with no electricity and has a friend who goes and visits him about once every 3 months. That friend has brought tidings from the company about the effort to complete the film. Liu has responded that he did not wish to be involved, but sent along a good luck blessing. Okay, nice. Simple. I mean, John Liu is a controversial person. I don't want to get into it too much. The initial rough cut was made determining the order from the scene numbers on the slates. That order was apparently incomprehensible, which is why they decided to re-edit and make the most sensible story they could in their own way. Okay, so they didn't just completely go rogue. And then finally, he adds 2 more thoughts. I can confirm what anyone watching this movie suspected from the start. No permits were acquired in the filming of this movie. Yes. And then my own observation, not gleaned from the documentary, John recognizing the killer of his wife by spotting his cufflink would indicate that despite having lost one cufflink, he continued to wear the other all on its own with a mismatched maid. Bam! Wow. That is honestly, I'm there for that. Johnny Unusual writes, despite that one audience member's insistence that Vinegar Syndrome remakes old pornos, they really are distributors who clean up and redistribute cult movies. Initially, they were focused primarily on X-rated movies, and yes, their catalog does include a lot of film from the golden age of porn. However, there are a lot of X-rated movies that aren't pornographic, like Midnight Cowboy. Scoop then chimes in, as a boutique Blu-ray physical media person, I just wanted to say that Vinegar Syndrome is the Criterion Collection for exploitation and genre pictures. They restored and re-released the unrated cut of Tammy and the T-Rex and do incredible work giving a second life to pictures that would ultimately turn to dust otherwise. I am a huge fan of Vinegar Syndrome. This is Paul talking. I met them when I was doing an Unspooled show in New Orleans. And I will say this, they are putting out great stuff. I would like, and maybe I'll put the offer out to them right now. Would you like to release Human Giant Season 1 and Season 2 on DVD? Because no one else is doing it. Vinegar Syndrome? Let's go. Let's do it. I did release Human Giant Season 2, which has never been available anywhere at Vidiots. So if you're in LA, you want to go to Vidiots, I have a brand new section there called Pulled from Streaming, a bunch of stuff that you can't get anywhere else. Tim C. writes, not a correction or omission, but I just wanted to share that my 12-year-old saw his first movie boobs in New York Ninja, sad-faced emoji. The wife and I were watching in prep for the live show, and he walked right in as they unfolded on screen. He did a Grandpa Simpson loop right back out of the room. He refused to believe me when I told him that they were her knees. Oh man, Tim, her knees? What a memory from our first How Did This Get Made live show. You know, I seeing nudity in a movie for the first time is kind of, I remember it burnt into my mind. And for me, it was being at my grandparents' house. They had HBO. and Risky Business is on. And I thought, oh, Risky Business, this is a kid. He's cool. He's like me, I mean, I was very young, but I saw myself in Tom Cruise. He wore sunglasses and danced in his underwear. And I remember going like, what? Like that movie is way adult. I think a lot of people also, Scott included, said that their first like nudity scene was Starship Troopers. It's weird because these are movies that you don't always expect. Risky Business, I probably should have, from the plot, but I just turned it on and I was shocked. I remember people putting their hands over my eyes. Anyway, Cherry Cola writes, my question is, how often do people think gang members actually high five when they're doing gang member stuff? I feel like there's a lot of bad dudes high fiving in these movies, and it seems so weird to me. Also, a lot of cackling, just cackling and high fives while doing bad guy stuff. Well, Cherry Cola, maybe the Warriors set a bad precedent. Yeah, gang members in the 80s seem to be a little bit more upbeat. They're kind of like, it's kind of like a fun gang. It's like kind of like our gang, but they murder. Sean McBee writes one more time. He goes, I got one more thing. I love the New York Ninja button that John has at the end of the movie. It's fully branded with the name of the company that made the film. You can read it, the 21st Century Distribution Corporation. Wow. I wish we would have made those. Maybe we should have made those. Maybe we can make those. Should we make an I love New York Ninja pin? I hope Vinegar Strokes hasn't made it. I'll check it in. All right. So many great corrections and omissions this week, but there can only be one winner. And honestly, I always look to people to do some extra work. And Sean McBee, this week, not only did you do extra work, you came in multiple times. Sean McBee, there is only one winner, and it is you. Honest Jams, give him what he deserves, his own theme. Thank you, Honest Jams. Thank you, Sean McBee. Remember, if you want to submit a movie tagline or just chime in with your own thoughts, hit us up on the Discord, discord.gg/HDTGM, or call us at 619-PAUL-ASK. And before we go to break right now, I want to just talk about something, because this was brought up in the live show. We cut it out of the live show because we didn't want to be defaming anyone. So I thought we should just read the statement that Vinegar Syndrome put out, because you heard me reference it a little bit earlier when I said John Liu is a problematic guy. And a few Discord users also pointed this out. So Vinegar Syndrome has said this. It has come to our attention that the allegations of inappropriate conduct with actors were made against John Liu concerning the events that might have occurred in the 90s. While we cannot confirm the legitimacy of these claims, we can confirm that John Liu was not involved in the restoration or re-release of New York Ninja, nor associated in the making of Doc. So that's all we really know about that. So thank you to everybody who pointed that out. Stick around after the break. Jason and I are going to judge your songs, and we're going to talk about some stuff that we're into. It's a little mix and match here. All right. Plus, we're going to play an exclusive bonus scene from our New York Ninja show. We'll be right back right after this. People, every Monday we're releasing brand new episodes. That's right. Well, not brand new, old episodes, old brand new episodes. Matinee Monday is what we call it. And to tie them together with old and new episodes, last week we did Ninja 3 The Domination, which is really fun. I love Ninja 3. That's the V8 one where they have like a sex scene with V8. So check back every Monday for a brand new Matinee Monday. And now Surreal Feld. Okay, I want to apologize because last time I mispronounced your name. So we're using your awesome theme one more time to make up for it. Surreal Feld. Thank you for that. And now, welcome my friend, Jason Mantzoukas, for a little Just Chat.
What's up, jerks? It's time for Just Chat with Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas.
All right, Jason, it's time once again for How Did This Get Made Idol. We are listening to new theme songs. Ken Jeong could not be here today to judge with us. He is busy on The Masked Singer, but we will be. I like.
But we do have Nick Cannon.
All right, now Scott, you do have to do your best Nick Cannon. Scott, our producer, has to do our best Nick Cannon to set up every song that we have. We have listened to some before. We've given feedback. People have sent back the notes, and this is great. We're putting them into the pot. We're listening.
Here's the thing. For those of you who might not be up on this, we are taking submissions for new How Did This Get Made theme songs because, shock of all shocks, The current theme song is 10 years old, did you
10
say?
years old. And I will tell you this.
And I love it. Again, this
love
may
it.
be this may stay as
I
the
love
same.
this, but I also love our original one. I just also feel like, hey, we made a transition to the new one. We had one that Devin played when we were on the road. We're open.
Paul, are there any theme songs, podcast theme songs that you love or that you so closely identify with the show that you listen to? Like that you don't fast forward through.
Oh, that's a really...
I fast forward a lot of theme songs
Me
for
too.
a lot of podcasts. The ones that I don't are Doughboys.
Love the
Blank
Doughboys.
Check.
Yes. I was going to say Blank Check.
I love the original Blank Check theme song, the old one. And I'm trying to think of what other ones. The old Binge Mode one I used to love, but there are some that I listen to because they get me excited for the podcast that I'm about to listen to.
They lay
the
down...
way that a good TV show theme song does. The way that I watch every theme song of Game of Thrones or whatever,
The one that I find myself humming a lot is the theme to Elvis Mitchell's show that he used to have, where it was like bend it, don't break it. Like there's some.
Yeah.
I just love that song. It's a good underscore song.
It's
I
great.
like those.
It
beats,
is great when it's great when they use real songs. It's great
Yes.
but I get really the way that we are talking about ours right now. I love the ones that are either fan generated or are by people that the Doughboys one I know is Mike Cassidy from Don't Stop or We'll Die.
Yes.
Anyway.
No, I like them all. Sometimes it's just a musical sting. The Keys to the Kingdom, the new Matt Gorley podcast, which I've been loving.
What is that?
Matt Gorley and Amanda Lund have a podcast called Keys to the Kingdom, and all it is an expose of people who worked at theme parks. So it's like all the princesses at Disney World. It's all these great backstage stories. And then a lot of the voices are, tricked out so you don't know who's actually talking about it.
Yeah, because these people are breaking NDAs, I assume.
And it is fascinating. Like the first episode about princesses, just like, here's a good little stat. Like the person playing Ariel was talking about how a lot of kids wanted to grab at her seashells, which are covering her breasts, and nothing untoward, but they're like, oh, I want to touch those seashells, right? Like, and how do you kind of fend that off?
I get it. We all want to touch those seashells.
And you and I...
Unless we're in the bathroom of Demolition Man.
Well, here's the funny thing. You need to touch those seashells.
Yeah, you got, I guess.
To scoop it all out. I was telling a story to Hubel on the Twitch show where I was saying that my stepfather flirted with Snow White and kind of was like grabby with her.
Oh my God.
And Hubel was like, oh my God, this is like you're telling me this crazy story. And I was like, I don't think it's that. I mean, yes.
Dads are creeps is my guess, is the thesis of this podcast. And I will say, speaking of Gorley, he and his band, The Journeymen, do a fantastic theme song for the Andy Daly Bonanas for Bonanza.
Oh, well, that's a great, I mean, those are great. I
love
those.
Theme song.
But yeah, you'll like it.
Okay, that sounds cool. I'll check that out. Gorley's great, man.
Love Gorley. Podcast producing machine. Just a great guy. Roundabout, great guy. All right, let's get into it. We got 3 themes. If we want to do more, we can do more. But let's start off with 3 and see what we got here.
Before we begin, I just want to clarify. I feel like
First of all, Scott, I don't feel like you're really giving us a proper Nick Cannon intro. Like, I don't need you to do an impression.
Coming in very low.
You got to come in with the energy. And look, if Molly could jump in with this. Molly, can you give him a little taste of what this Nick Cannon energy got to be like? No, she says no.
She shakes her head.
I'll try to up my game. And welcome to How Did This Get Made's official main theme song contest. Here with you is producer Scott, and I have Paul Scheer, Tall John, and Jason Manzukis here with me, and we're going to see if we can find the next great How Did This Get Made theme song.
Pretty good.
I like it.
Whew. Last time we did this, I was kind of giving a little flack for maybe prejudging some of these songs.
Yeah.
So going into this, I'm going to say I have not organized these in any way and will be judging them in order of when we received them.
Great.
All right. Are you guys ready for some earworms?
Yeah, let's do it.
First up, we have Balloon Ride Fantasy.
How did this get made? How did this get made? Call the frickin' studio, someone there has got to go. How did this get made? How did this get made? There have been a plot twist on kids shows, soaps and old-time radio. How did this get made? How did this get made? Saw the movie from the start, the credits were my favorite part. How did this get made? How did this get made? Even though a monkey wrote the script, The Rock attached his name to it. How did this get made? How did this get made? Jason, Paul, and June explain before I start to go insane. Who, what, where, what? And how did this get made? How did this get made? How did this get made?
Nice.
Wow. I got to say, right out of the gate, this might be my favorite one of the submissions henceforth.
So far, I agree.
Wow.
So far, a tight 44 seconds, mixed great, pop punk, up tempo. I can imagine. This is how my question to you earlier, Paul, about what theme songs do you listen to, if at all?
Yeah.
I can imagine, because what I like about the theme songs I like is singing along and getting excited for the show. Here we go. And I can imagine people getting into that and singing along with those easy lyrics.
Yeah. I like it. It's catchy. It's fun. I have no notes. I really have no notes. I would just put this, if we are separating, if we're separating things out on the table, I'm putting this on. It's done. Cool the apple pie. It's ready to eat. This is for the big vote.
Wait a minute. What is this? Cool the apple pie. It's ready to eat. That's the t-shirt. I don't know if we do t-shirts.
By the way,
for last looks, but cool the apple pie. It's ready to eat. What?
My thought
Somebody
is,
write that down, please.
Take it. Don't put it in the oven. It's done. Cool it.
So
it's ready.
Wait a minute. But it was in the oven because it's hot. It's hot apple pie.
So I guess what I'm saying is,
put it on the table.
It's ready to eat.
It's ready to eat.
We don't have to. We don't.
You don't even have to cool it down.
Some of these, what I'm saying is, put it back in the oven. It needs a couple more minutes. This one, I'm like, let it cool. It's ready. I should have said let it cool.
Oh, but you do want it let it cool.
I do like. I'd like to put it. What I wanted to say was, let's put it on a shelf. Let it cool.
Get the
this
ice
guy
cream.
Is ready to go.
Get the ice cream. The pie is ready. Is my feedback for that song.
By the way, I'm dealing with something right now that I didn't even want to involve you with, but it's really upsetting me.
Oh boy.
So the audience at large has not heard this episode yet, but we did a Dungeons and Dragons episode when we were in, I don't remember what city we were in, but we had
Philly?
a great time.
Maybe. Philly?
It was a great venue. I remember the show. I just don't remember the place. And we made a great shirt, and I won't even spoil the shirt, but it has been taken down for copyright infringement, and I can't figure out why, and I'm fighting it right now.
Is it possible that, like, I could see a company like Dungeons and Dragons being, like, protective of their
logo,
whatever? Yeah.
I mean, look how good that shirt is. People love this shirt.
That shirt is incredible. So now, is that and the ampersand with the dragon? The dragon, but is that their thing?
Well, here's the thing. I went online. I searched on TeePublic. I typed in Dungeons and Dragons. Not only are there just straight up Dungeons and Dragons shirts, full logo, full everything, but that logo also appears on multiple shirts. I'm like, why is ours getting dinged? Because ours is more parody than it is anything else. It's Morgan's and Dragons.
Seems great. Can we resubmit with almost no alteration?
That's what we're going to try to do. I wonder if they dinged Morgan. So we're trying to figure out that because we also have permission from Morgan.
Morgan?
Well,
wait, do you think Morgan complained? Wait, Morgan, if you're listening, do you not want us to put you on a shirt?
I have a feeling that what they have is one of those like kind of like I dealt with this in the past and we lost this battle, but like MTV allowed Human Giant to put our sketches up on YouTube. And not on their site, but on YouTube proper because we knew we'd get more views. And then that was a legal agreement that we signed with them. But then when YouTube has their like kind of filtering process, it just ripped them all off because it was
it assumed that it was copyrighted.
And then you go and you kind of fight it. But if you're not the owner,
you think we got swept up in some sort of like a bot dinged us rather than somebody? Okay, got it. Okay.
All right. Anyway. I hope TeePublic and I are on it, but I want to save that Dungeons and Dragons episode because I want to get this figured out because I want people to get that shirt. It's so good. All right.
Yeah. Big time. I really like this song. Just to get back to these songs, I thought this was great. I could see this being played. I could see this hyping up a crowd for a sing along. This, so far for me, very exciting. Great work. Balloon Ride fantasy.
I love it. The other thing that I'm going to say about this is, and I think all theme songs, it's kind of like the way that theme songs on TV have elevated themselves too. We've gotten away from these kind of fun theme songs, like these legacy podcasts. I would consider us a legacy podcast. We still have
Isn't that crazy?
I know, it's nuts.
It's crazy, and I know we've talked about this before, so I won't waste much more time on it, but the idea that people have started coming to the shows who are themselves the age of the show, like all these families coming with 13-year-olds in attendance who are as old as the show is. That's very weird to me.
Yeah, that is wild. And I will say this, old theme songs have a more fun, like homemade vibe to them. I feel like newer theme songs, there's a lot more production on certain things.
Oh, yeah.
And I like a throwback. Like, I'm not calling this a throwback per se, but if it reminds me of when I was, I don't know, it just has a nice feel to it. I like it.
It feels like somebody made it. It doesn't feel like we pulled library music for our high-end fucking show. It feels like, oh no, it feels like what is exciting is these, I'm hoping, are fans who are writing something that excites them about it. All the specifics. That's what's great about the current theme song is that it is so dense with lore. It is so dense with podcast lore from those first few years that it is crazy, and it's, I think, really fun, as opposed to just bland theme music.
I agree. Let's get into the next one. What do we got?
All right, coming up next, we have Chris Chaney, who, along with the song, sent a video as well.
Oh,
wow.
Let's see if this apple pie is hot enough to come out of the oven and cool down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Or does it need a little more time to bake?
Yes. All right. Apple pie. Let's keep it in.
All right. Chris Chaney.
Hello, Mary Lou. Prom night, 2 mannequins on the moon. Underworld, boy, mega force and the cool. Supergirl, tug, fast eggs and the specialist. Design to kill, malignant, surrogate, prelude to a kiss. Stone cold with a view from the top, wish upon a hard target. Suck a punch, lead and dig, over the top, I'm into it. Hookers in New York, body perfect and airborne. Still left wondering, how did this get made?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I like about this. First of all, love the length. Love the video.
So this person has put together a video accompaniment that like is similar to the one we play in the live shows, in that everything that is being described in this song, clips from those movies are being shown on the video. So it's great.
If I'm going to give you one, I'm going to start off with the note, and I'm going to come back with the positives. The one thing I'm going to say about this is that it is simply a list of the movies that we've done. I don't feel like it encompasses the show, but let's go back to the compliments. I like the sound of it. I like the length of it. I like the fun of it. I was into it. I was waiting for it to maybe turn to a little bit of the show.
Yes, I agree. And I know what you mean. It's a classic list song. Again, we're getting into like pop punk really lends itself to this type of an up-tempo vibe, which is fine by me. I don't love pop punk, but this guy's doing a great job. Who is this? Chris Chaney. Great job. I liked the video is helpful, but not necessary. I think the song works. I could see this coming around in some way, shape, or form. I could see this as something that gets played prior to a live show on screen while the audience is watching, something like different songs or different video accompaniment for different songs. This is cool.
I like it. I like it a lot. And I feel like, look, we've also been doing a lot of fun stuff on the road, which is like the shows on the road now have like a whole kind of prelude, and it's fun, and there's a lot of stuff, and this kind of works perfectly within that. I'm all in.
Yeah. And I've also been liking how many people have been coming to multiple shows on the road.
It's amazing. It makes me step up my game to kind of figure out different things. So I try when we do shows on the road that we don't repeat things on multiple days. So
it's funny
I represent.
to think of us and our podcast like it's our fans are like the Grateful Dead or Fish fans.
I know.
Like they're following us from city to city, like camping outside, making grilled cheese sandwiches for each other.
I mean, I wish I would like to have some of those grilled cheeses.
I mean, let's be honest. If a fan handed me a grilled cheese sandwich, there's absolutely no way I'm eating it.
Oh, well, you can. I mean, it would kill you. Let's see what we got here now. Oh, yeah.
But great job, Chris Chaney. Great job.
Before we move on, going with Paul's pie analogy, do we want to assign each song like the type of pie you think, it emulates?
Scott?
Oh.
No, Scott, absolutely not. What type of pie? So what? That's a rhubarb? What are we saying?
Again,
Yeah,
you're not on the pie thing, Jason. I feel like, you're
all right. I'll do it. Fine. Great. Let's do it. Let's do Scott's dumb pie idea.
All right. I'm going to call that a blueberry pie. Like,
You're going to call that blueberry pie? Okay, great. So, yeah. Totally blueberry pie. Got it. So that was like a pecan pie to me? Jesus Christ.
Here we go. What do we got next?
All right, coming up next, we have a song from Darren Keane. What type of pie will it be?
Yes.
Let's find out.
I don't like this pie thing.
Do we hate, do we love it? Do we love that we hate it? We're mad that we watched it. We're happy they made it. Is it so that it's good? Is it actually bad? Is it happy when you're watching something terribly rad? It's so bonkers, never dying to know. It's so bonkers, it's the name of the show. How did this get made? How did this get made?
All right, Jason, what do you think?
I enjoyed that. That had vibes. It feels a little low energy for a theme to me.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just muted.
No, I feel like it had, like, there was a, I was expecting
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Paul, but Molly has weighed in and says that song is key lime.
Okay.
If that helps.
Okay.
I know that helps
okay.
me quite a bit. Yeah.
But like, all right. I hear what you're saying. Can we just play it again just a little bit of the front of it? Because I also feel like the lyrics are getting a little muted. Just like, let's play maybe 5 or 6 seconds in.
Do we hate, do we love it? Do we love that we hate it? We're mad that we watched it. We're happy they made it. Is it so that it's good?
All right, stop it for a second. I think what it is, it's like there's a reverb thing, or there's a tin canniness to it, which I think has that.
It's a little muted. There's I don't know what that is, but maybe it's a mix thing, or because it's an up tempo song.
Yeah.
But I mean I like this. I like a kind of fuzzed out rock and roll kind of giving me some 80s. Synthy vibes in there. There's something here. I like this.
I like this. I like this. It's fun. I mean, by the way, what a great second batch of songs. I like that. I like how much this is about the show and how we talk about movies in the show. Do we love that we hate it? Do we hate it that we love it? Like, there's a good vibe to this song that I just feel like.
You know what could be great?
What?
If the theme song had a presumed call and response to it.
Oh, I love that.
Like, so that can you give me the lyric sheet again for this one, Scott, that you had put up for a second? Just because I feel like this song has natural call and response, so that it would be like the one voice is saying, do we hate that? Do we hate that we love it? We love that we hate it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so that the audience gets to chime in, because that's what I'm picturing. I'm picturing people driving, people doing their dumb lives and shouting out loud while they have their headphones on or whatever.
Yeah.
The way that when I'm listening to the Shadow Wolves episodes of Action Boys, I will find myself in public wandering around going, Shadow Wolves.
I see a lot of that.
Yeah. So anyway, I like it. I'm not necessarily that that Darren here has to do that, but I think this exemplified a way to me to do a call and response.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I agree with that. And I feel like, I mean, look, we're talking a lot about like how the live shows go. I mean, right now, when you come see a live show, the entire audience is chanting Geostorm and Kumite. I feel like we could have more call and response. I'm down with that.
Oh yeah. I think especially, and I like the idea that we've talked about having like a handful of theme songs that we use, because I think dropping them in, if people love them all, we're dropping them in and people get excited for, oh, wait, we got this one or we got that one. The same way that every show gets individual movies.
Yeah.
Maybe they get songs. Maybe they get, they're already getting T-shirts, all this kind of stuff. And not that we're basing everything around the live shows. So relax, you studio heads.
No, we just do some things. And, look, by the way, yeah, calm down. We like to make the show fun for everybody.
Speaking of, you mentioned, call and response and shouting Geostorm. Paul, I saw on your Twitch stream, you shared a story of you and June driving by Jason.
Oh my God. You said that story?
Well, yes.
I would love to get Jason's take on it as well.
So yeah, I was talking about this time, June and I were driving in our neighborhood, and there's a restaurant with some nice outdoor seating. We were driving by and we see Jason. As a matter of fact, June sees Jason. And June's like, oh, there's Jason. I said, and she, before I could say anything, rolls down the window, and I'm expecting her to say, hey, Jason, like, just because that's June. Friendly conversation.
And I just want to be, just for setting the scene, you guys are seeing me, but my back is to you. So
exactly right, yes.
So I have not seen you.
Right. We are driving by, and we're doing a little shout as we drive, like to get your attention a little bit.
Yes.
Good point. So, boom. June rolls down the window, and without conferring with me, not that she has to, but it was just immediately rolls down the window and starts yelling out, Geostorm! Geostorm! And she's screaming, and it's like a Sunday morning, right? It's
the restaurant is packed.
Yes.
People are sitting at all the outdoor tables, and all I can hear now is I can tell there is a car that is parked in front of all of these tables full of all these people just screaming Geostorm at me.
And so then as she starts screaming, I start screaming.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And then my kids who are also in the car, they don't know what's going on, but they know Jason. They start screaming. So now you have a car of people yelling Geostorm nonstop.
And I'm getting more and more uncomfortable because I won't engage with it because I'm at lunch with people.
Right.
I'm at a table full of people, and I don't want to engage with whatever car full of maniacs has decided they're going to scream at me from the street.
And rightfully so, because you're also on the street. And I would say oftentimes, in my experience, sometimes people just want to yell something at you. And it's just like a bam, like it's a bam. I did it. I acknowledge it, and you go. And it's not like, now let's chat, but we won't stop yelling. And it's funny to me because I'm like, why? Now I'm starting to feel uncomfortable because now we're parked and we're screaming. And so it's going on for way too long. And then you turn around. And it was one of my favorite moments of all time because it was just a convergence of you turning around like, okay, I get it. I know. Thank you. Hello. But then to see
and then realizing it was all of you, I just collapsed into laughter.
It just like in a minivan screaming at you, just calling attention to so much. It was truly.
It was incredible.
It was your face, that turn of that face, which was like, I get it, because you're like, okay, these fucking idiots.
Annoyed.
Because we had done too much. It wasn't
enough is enough. I hear like that. Because I'm sure you've dealt with it too.
Yes.
It's okay. I got it.
I got it.
Yes. Thank you. Holy shit, that was really funny.
Oh my gosh. People used to run up to, obviously you get it because of the league, and there's a couple things that they would yell with the league that was tricky too, because Geostorm is a crazy thing to yell out to anybody in the street, but it's something that I feel like we've all experienced. It's a nice, fun little thing.
Oh, it's great. Hey Nong Man for me is from Comedy Bang Bang is so wonderful and easy because each of us says it and then it's done.
Yeah,
bye.
You know what it is. But people used to yell for the league a lot. Shiva Kamini Samarkand, who was a name of a character in the show, and that yelling was also that would scare my kids.
Sure.
They're younger, so now they're more used to it. But now my kids have yelled Geostorm at you. That was really a highlight of my life.
Really funny. That's funny.
I just hope, Jason, that one day you don't end up facing an actual Geostorm, and then you don't take that warning seriously. Someone's like, Geostorm, and you're just like,
and I'm gonna be like, oh, all right, man. I'm super popular today. What's the deal?
I will say this, that I don't know if I've ever told you this, but every now and then my kids love Jason. Jason's great. And they've seen him, a bunch, but they'll like on a random night, they'll say, can Jason have cake? Like, it's like it's just,
oh yeah. It pops back up like my allergy.
Your egg allergy just sits in their head and it's apropos of nothing.
Yeah.
Have cake. It's this running on a background program that is just like trying to figure it out.
Yeah, because there was one night where I feel like Gus specifically had a number of questions for me about things that I could or couldn't eat, which was very cute.
I will say this much too. I never I've always recognized how scary that allergy is, right? Because you realize, oh my God, eggs, and you're so you're just, you're so aware of it. You're so present of it. I've known you for a long time. But when I had kids is when I really understood, oh God, this is a hellish thing. Because as an adult, you can at least navigate. But as a kid.
Oh, you can advocate on your own behalf. But as a child, crazy. Oh, yes.
And you are, I'm just, my God. And plus, as I see everything children eat.
It's so funny. I was just with my cousins, all of my first cousins, a week ago, and we were just telling stories and blah blah blah, reminiscing, and one of my cousins told a story about me being a baby, and her mother, my aunt, they were babysitting for me, and my cousin remembers her mother was making me scrambled eggs. Okay. And this is before they knew I was allergic to eggs, but I had had a number of really bad incidents. And so my cousin said to her mother, remember, Jason's mother said not to feed him eggs.
Right.
He doesn't handle them well, or I can't remember what she said, but he doesn't, they don't agree with him or something. And my aunt said, that's because he hasn't had my eggs. And then she almost killed me twice.
Oh, my God.
For the rest of her life, felt such guilt for almost killing me that during that babysitting, that every time I went to her house, she had sugar cereals to give me because I wasn't allowed to have sugar cereals. So she'd be like, there's something in the cupboard, and I'd be like, yes, I'd get to take home sugar cereal. It was amazing.
Well, it's so funny because to me, it's like, I understand the idea of oh, he doesn't like steak. Well, he hasn't had my steak yet, right? Because it's that's not but eggs, you can't, there's no getting around it. There's you can't dress it up. You can't, it's not like.
It was great. I was like, that is so funny. And they were like, oh yeah, she was relentless. That all you needed all it was going to take for you to be able to eat eggs was the way that she prepared them. It was very
I love it. I mean, this is the best. It's always like this. I mean, last night I was having this argument with my youngest son because he was like, no, you don't understand. When you cut my nails, it hurts. And I was like, well, yes, I understand. It feels weird maybe, but it's it doesn't hurt. He's like, no, it's hurting me. I'm like, and we're just trying to debate. I'm like, I don't think it's true. Then June's like, do not disagree. If he says it hurts, it hurts. I'm like, but it's not.
That's interesting.
But he's like, not my toes. Only my hand. I'm like, okay. So it's
funny.
Yeah, it's a very fun. And I think what he is just, he can see it happening on his hand. And I think he sees something being clipped off. I think it's a fear. It's he gets his hair cut fine.
Thinks maybe it should hurt, or it seems like maybe something that might hurt. It also makes a sound.
Yes.
Yeah, it also makes a hard sound that mustn't this hurt? Maybe I should be scared of this. Yeah,
I know.
I get that.
It's but it's so funny to debate your kids about. You're like, no, it doesn't. Now, meanwhile, look, if I find out a couple years later, they'll be like, yeah, my dad never believed me. It hurt, and I actually have a rare disorder where if I cut my nails,
I'm allergic to getting my nails cut.
All right, we got some songs. I feel like we did it for this episode. We'll go back. We'll listen to some more. We should even just talk about what we've been up to in the next one. So tune in again. We'll kind of go down the wormhole here. We'll listen to more songs. We have more submissions. Thank you for these submissions. These were across the board. I'm going to say without any, look, all of these are apple pies that should be cooled. None of these need to be put back in the oven. But
I thought these were great as well. I loved all of these. And I thought, and And I love the ones we listened to whenever the last time was. That we
I
did
agree.
This. But
I agree.
I'm having a blast listening to the stuff you guys are coming up with.
Yeah, we really
how creative everybody is with your lyrical content, musical content. Great work all around, everybody. I mean, some of you are much, much better than others. I'm just not going to.
We won't
I'm not
say
going to rank them
exactly,
that way.
but we have to. Yeah,
but I'm just saying, I've loved all of these.
All right,
except for the ones that I have not liked.
And those, you know who we're talking about. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Thank you, Jason, and thank you to everyone who submitted a theme song. We know that we still have more to listen to, and we will do our best to get to them all. Now that we got New York Ninja out of the way, let's talk about our next movie. Next week, we're going to be going from corny ninjas with voices dubbed to horny aliens who love eating grub. That's right. Next week, we are watching the 1987 comedy Munchies, a movie that is a blatant knockoff of Gremlins and kind of crazy, too. Here's a short breakdown of the plot. A space archaeologist finds a furry little creature in a cave in Peru, but his groundbreaking discovery is thwarted by his evil twin brother, who kidnaps the creature. What the brother doesn't know is that the creature, when chopped up, regenerates into many new creatures, and they are mean. I told you, it's Gremlins. Anyway, Rotten Tomatoes does not have enough reviews to give this film a score, so we turn to Letterboxd. Oh, I love Letterboxd, where Oscar Montoya writes, I know it's bad, I know the plot is non-existent and terrible, but the aesthetic was really fun. The set design rivals Pee-wee's Playhouse, manic colors and patterns. The acting is camp as hell. Mavis is a queer legend. The Munchies themselves are so corny, but still 80s. Can only recommend watching this with fellow idiots. And just a shout out to Oscar Montoya. He's a super funny improviser and actor. And this is what I'm telling you. You'll find good people on Letterboxd. Get on Letterboxd, people. You will love it. Martin Scorsese's on Letterboxd now. So cool. All right, let's listen to the trailer for Munchies.
I want you.
For breakfast.
The Munchies are here. And they want you for lunch.
No one kills wild tropical fish and live.
And they want you for dinner. Nothing human can be this hungry. Munchies, rated PG.
You're going to love it. Now we are almost at the end of this episode, but before we go, we want you to check out this bonus scene from our New York Ninja show, where an audience question leads me to giving a glowing endorsement for one of my favorite products. Splinter out.
What do you got?
So I have a really quick comment, which is that if you watch with the subtitles, it starts after Nita dies with, in parentheses, melancholy synth instrumental. Love that. And then the film ends with grooving beat with synth. Haven't stopped thinking about that. And then I have a question for Jason. What was
I'll just
more...
wait. Yes.
Everybody else can just close your eyes.
I'm sorry. What was more erotic? Every scene between the ninja and the kid in this, and every scene between Stallone and the kid in Over the Top?
That's a question for me? Wow. I thought it was going to be about boobs. What a bummer. It was pretty wild. When he does finally rescue the kid, which does happen, the kid survives the first encounter.
Thank God. If that kid died, I truly was going to have to turn off the movie. I was like, I can't.
But he seems to rescue the kid from the suburbs. When he finds the kid is like out in it's not in the city, it's out in like a suburban neighborhood with standalone houses and like a driveway. And I was like, where are they now?
Bayonne. All right, so.
But also, he rescues the kid and heals the child by pulling out a bullet from his own chest.
The kid is shot. Both of them are shot with a gun. And neither of them are treated by medical experts.
Well, he pulls out a bullet like you would pull out a splinter. Like, it's like, that just got one of those bullets right under my skin. Didn't go all the way through. He's like,
you want to quickly plug your Splinter?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, there's a thing called Splinter Out. You can buy it on Amazon. And it's a little splinter removal kit. And
watch out behind you, Paul.
And when you have kids and they get splinters, You got everything you need in there. I love that little splinter kit. It's the best. I use it all the time on my kids. I got one with me right there backstage, ready to go.
Is this product placement for a splinter removal thing? I got them. They're called tweezers.
It is as
This
is as thin as a credit card. You put it in your wallet. Again, we're not making money off of this.
Yes, you're not going to.
It's just a public service announcement.
Look under your seats. You get a splinter kit. You get a splinter kit.
By the way,
What?
There it is, right there, behind your head.
Wait, you have it?
Behind your head.
Oh my God!
The best thing you could possibly get.
How is it? Wait a minute. Why do you have it ready to be shown?
That's our amazing stage manager, Beth. She was able to pull that up.
Thank you, Beth. That's what it is, and this is an amazing product.
Splinter out. And that box is the box that they all come in. You could take them out of the box, put them in your wallet. You can put them all in your car. You got them. It's great.
I love that we talk about the splinter out, and boom, it's there. But we talk about boobs the whole time. None of it. We get none of it.
It's a family show.
Thank you, everybody. A big thank you to Avril Halley for finding these great movies. Remember, rate and review this show. It helps. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, make sure you are following us and make sure you're listening every week because now they're not going to download episodes if you don't listen to them within 15 days. Weird. Anyway, rate and review us. It does help. Visit us on social media at HDTGM. And a big thank you to our producers, Scott Sani, Molly Reynolds, our movie picking producer, Avril Halley, which I already said, our engineers, Casey Halford and Rich Garcia, and Jess Cisneros, who makes our amazing social media videos. We will see you next week for Munchies.